Hey, family. Welcome back to Flavor Lab Wednesday here on Unseen Cuisine. I'm Chef Rick, the Blind Chef, and today we're stepping into the Flavor Lab to explore the secrets behind a very successful souffle. Earlier this week on Technique Monday, we learned how to build the base, whip the eggs, and bake a souffle that rises light and airy. But today, we're asking a deeper question. What actually makes a souffle rise? The answer is air trapped inside whipped egg whites. And how you whip those egg whites, soft peaks or stiff peaks, changes everything. So today we're going to run a simple experiment, okay? Let's talk about it. Experiment setup. What you'll need: 3 egg whites, 2 clean bowls, a whisk or a hand mixer, a rubber spatula, and small ramekins. We'll whip the egg whites 2 different ways, then observe how the structure changes. You ready? Experiment 1, the soft peaks. Start by whipping the egg whites until they form soft peaks. Sound cue. The whisk begins with a wet sloshing sound. As air builds, the rhythm becomes lighter and faster. Tactile cue. Dip a finger into the foam and lift it. The peak should stand briefly, then fold over gently. That is called a soft peak. Soft peaks hold air but remain flexible. When folded into a souffle base, they create a very tender and delicate rise. Experiment 2, stiff peaks. Now whip another batch of egg whites longer. Continue beating until the foam becomes firmer. Sound cue. The whisk now moves through the mixture with resistance. The sound becomes sharper and tighter. Tactile cue. Dip your finger or your whisk, hold it up, and now the peak should stand straight without bending. That is a stiff peak. Stiff peaks trap more air, which can create a taller souffle, but if overmixed, they can also make the texture slightly drier. What happens in the oven? When a souffle bakes, the trapped air expands as it heats. That expansion pushes the batter upwards. Soft peaks create gentle lift, a very delicate texture. Stiff peaks, stronger texture, higher rise. But if the whites are beaten too far, the air bubbles break and the souffle collapses. That's why balance matters. Sensory awareness. Egg whites are one of the best ingredients for learning sensory cooking. You can hear the whisk change the rhythm. You can feel the foam become stronger. You can watch, or in our case, you can feel the peaks forming. These signals guide you better than any timer. Allergy and dietary notes. Of course, contains eggs. Naturally gluten-free, naturally dairy-free. For egg-free cooking, aquafaba, which is the chickpea liquid, can be whipped into peaks the same way. It creates a similar airy structure for plant-based soufflés and mousses. My sensory insight. Soufflés teach us an important lesson. Cooking isn't just about ingredients. It's about structure and air. When you understand how egg whites hold air, you start to understand how many classic dishes work, from soufflés to meringues to mousses. And once you feel that structure forming under the whisk, you'll never guess again. Well, that's Flavor Lab Wednesday experiment here on Unseen Cuisine. Try whipping egg whites to both stiff and soft peaks this week and notice how the texture changes. Because once you understand the science behind the rise, you gain control over the entire dish. And control in the kitchen means what? Confidence. If you enjoyed today's Flavor Lab, share it with somebody who loves learning the science behind cooking. And don't forget to follow the show so you'll never miss a Technique Monday, Flavor Lab Wednesday, or Recipe Friday. You can explore more sensory cooking lessons and recipes on unseencuisine.com, because here in the Unseen Kitchen, we believe in cooking without limits, where food heals and flavor inspires. I'm Chef Rick. I'll see you next time in the Flavor Lab.